Oh my
Let's,
gosh, we have so much goodness for you guys tonight. We're so excited.
yes. And
All right.
it looks like we're
We are
streaming.
live on Facebook as well. So that's amazing. I'm just going to make sure we're in the right group. I'm always paranoid about that. And we are. Okay. We'll give it a minute here.
Happy New Year, everybody. Let's blow up the chat. Tell us what you are most excited about in 2024. It could be anything. It could be you're going to become a grandma. It could be you're having a baby. It could be this is going to be your year to shine. Let's get our minds and hearts focused on something really exciting that you are very excited about. And I'm going to watch those chats come in. But while those, oh, I was like, does nobody have anything? Thank you, Jenny. Adventure, health, wealth, fun, overcoming my self-doubts. Ooh, yoga certifications. All right. Oh, look, granddaughter number 2. I knew somebody was going to be a grandma. Granddaughter
Love.
number 2, excited to
I
moving.
better not be a grandma again this year.
Carrie is
Just putting
moving
that
to
out there.
Mexico.
Yes. She is like living her best life. Her and Russ are going to become expats in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite cities in Mexico.
Oh, I
Okay,
know.
guys, we have a lot to
I've already
cover.
got an invite. Me and Sonara are going to open Mexico with Carrie when we open Mexico.
Love
And
it. Oh my
everyone can
God.
come. It's going to be
Okay,
awesome.
financial freedom and okay. So guys, I'm going to encourage you to open your chat and just out of the corner of your eye while you're listening, look at all of these amazing things that people have on their heart that they are going to a lot of travel. I'm excited. Well, the theme of this call.
As well, so that hold
Oh,
on.
hold on. We need to mute somebody. I'm gonna
No,
let
it's
you.
me. It's because I've got too many screens open and I've got Facebook obviously open somewhere. So it's repeating what we're saying. So I need to go find that to close it. So I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Okay. While she's doing that, I'm going to get us opened up, guys. So first of all, welcome to our more in 24. And I hope that you guys took some time to listen to the call that we did last week, which was all about attitude and paradigm and truly what you focus on expands. I've seen that a million times. Wendy and I are so excited about this content because we look at what has happened in one short year, how our life has completely changed, and we already had good lives, but how our life has just completely changed in one calendar year, right? And while we did come to this business with experience, we did not come here with a team, and that's really important to point out. In fact, we were threatened with a lawsuit if anybody from our former business joined us. And I like to point that out because I think there is a misconception. Wendy and I came from another company. Over the course of a year, we went both to a colored diamond. She's a black diamond, I'm a red diamond. And I think there's like a misconception. Well, how easy would that be if you bring 500 people with you? How hard is that if you're not even allowed to talk to anybody that you know from your network? So today's content is called the 5 Ps. I hope you're taking notes. It is the 5 Ps to more in 24. And I'm hoping, yes, and you guys are going to see this beautiful graphic when we're done. We're going to talk about, these are the 5 things. I get asked all the time, what did you do, Sonara? You came for the first time, you logged into your web office on December 6th, and you were a red diamond by November 6th, exactly 12 months later. What did you do? Today, we are laying out that pathway for you. That's what we're going to talk about today. And these are the 5 Ps. So we are going to have Wendy kick it off. And then with the first P, take it away, Miss Wendy.
Okay, awesome. So Sonara and I put a lot of thought into 2024 and where we wanted to take this organization to in 2024. And we've got huge goals for all of you. So hopefully you have huge goals for yourself because we are here, we are dialed in, we have our running shoes on, and we are ready to run with anyone who wants to run and change their life this year. So that's number one. So we really put a lot of thought into what the theme for this year would be. And that's how we kind of morphed into this. And you're going to see it. All of our branding is changing on our graphics. We morphed into this branding of more in 24. And it doesn't just mean more income. It means more wellness, more experiences, more joy, more health. Okay. So you're going to see that as a reoccurring theme throughout this year. And then today, when we were talking to put together tonight, we had our talking points, and all of a sudden, Sonara said, each of these 5 talking points starts with a P. And we were like, what? Okay, we got to run with this because we love this type of stuff, right? So we're like, okay, it's the 5 Ps to more in 24. And so what this is going to be and what we're going to lay out for you tonight is really just what your daily method of operation looks like in your business. And then what you're going to see is on our level up calls every Sunday night, we're going to focus on one of the Ps. So we'll kind of rotate through them, and every couple level up calls, it might be something special. Maybe we'll have some guest speakers throughout the year. It's going to look great, but we're always going to keep coming back to these 5 Ps, because what you're going to see at the end of tonight's call is this framework is so simple if you just do it. Okay. So first P is prioritize. First and foremost, if you do not prioritize time for your business, nothing else matters. Okay. It's like anything in your life. If you don't prioritize time in your relationships, if you don't prioritize time for your health or things like that, the same is true for your business. Craig Cotter said one time, if this was your only stream of income, if you had to make it here or else, what would you do to make it happen? And that always sits in the back of my head. And I always think of that. That always drives me every day, because for some of you, you might be here and this is just fun money right now. Okay. But you want to take it to the next level. What you have done to build a business for fun money is not going to sustain you to build a business for life-changing money. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. So how do you prioritize time for your business? Well, all of you showing up tonight is prioritizing time today for your business, right? Each and every day, you have to put time aside for your business. And now I know what you're saying. Some of you might be thinking, I'm so busy. I've got 18 things on the go every day. I work full time. I've got kids. My kids are in sports, yada. We're going to do a bit of tough love, because every single person is busy. You are not more busy than the next person. Everyone has things in their life. It just depends on how we prioritize things. Okay. So if you want to make a life-changing income in this business this year, you have to prioritize time for your business. We're not saying that your business needs to be number one. I actually am saying your business shouldn't be number one, right? And those of you that have been with me for a while, or we've been friends for a while, you know that I truly believe in work-life balance. I believe in, family coming first and all those things. So I'm actually going to say, I don't think your business should be number one, but your business needs a seat at the table. Every single day, your business needs a seat at the table. If you want to know why some people are really successful in this industry, it's because every day, regardless of what's happening in our lives, our business takes a seat at the table. So for those of you that don't know, I work full time. Today was my first day back at work, and believe me, it was a doozy. I was talking to Sonara earlier today. I was like, oh my God, right? Like, it was a crazy, crazy, crazy day. So I do work full time. So I know what it's like. What I have done for the past 14 years that I've been in this industry and working full time is I have literally taken a snapshot of what my schedule looks like, or a snapshot of my life, and I have determined where my business can fit into that timetable. Okay. At some times in my life, especially when my kids were younger, it meant getting up a bit earlier. It meant going to bed a bit later. At times when a lot of times I work from home now, but when I would actually go into work, like a 9 to 5 type of job, it meant not eating lunch with my coworkers, not going out for sushi at lunch. It meant staying at my desk and using that time to work on my business. But here's the one thing Sonara and I were talking about today, and I thought, you know what? This is a really great way of looking at it. If you want your business to look different in the next 90 days, we're going to talk about the first quarter of this year. Okay. If you could give up watching, okay, let's just say Netflix's prices went up. Okay. As they tend to do. Okay. and, or maybe it's Disney Plus, or maybe it's Crave, whatever streaming service you're using, the price went up and you received a notification saying that the new price for your monthly subscription for Netflix was going to be $1,000. Who here would pay $1,000 a month for Netflix? Probably nobody. You'd be canceling right away, okay? If you look at that, if you take kind of that mindset shift and you think about, if you were to give up an hour or 2 hours, or let's be honest with ourselves, sometimes more hours each night of watching Netflix, and that could turn into $1,000 this month, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you do it? If you could have $3,000 in your bank account over the next 3 months, instead of watching Netflix, wouldn't you do it? All of you just said you wouldn't pay $1,000 a month for Netflix. So why are we giving our time, which is honestly our most valuable resource, to something that isn't giving us an income back? So that's where you need to find time, and you need to prioritize time for your business. You're the only one that can decide what you're going to swap out. We swap time for time. That's what life is. We swap time for time. So whatever you need to decide, what is in your life that you can swap out for time for your business. I can't make that decision for you, but I can tell you, if you're not putting time into your business, you can't expect to have that $1,000 paycheck at the end of the month. Okay, Sonara.
And by the way, I'm seeing some things in the comments. We're not shaming watching TV.
No, not at all.
We're just saying every single one of you does something that doesn't necessarily help you get to your goals.
Yep.
It might be a short-term pleasure, like a short-term veg out, or but this is what I do to decompress. You know what else helps you decompress? When you have an extra $1,000 in the bank and you can like afford to do things. That's also a very decompressing feeling, right? So like, it's really just the thing of like you swapping time for time is what she said. We're not telling people don't watch Netflix. I watch Netflix, but I also have other things that I don't do during the day to get my job done. So, okay. The next P is, write this down, plug in. It is shocking to me how many people are wanting help from me with the business. They want coaching calls. They want this, they want that. They never attend a level up. They've never attended new associate training. They don't utilize any of the information overviews. We have 4 things that are going to be happening consistently every single week. There will be a new associate training, and we'll share the graphic in Diamond League. Every week there will be a new associate training. Every week there will be a level up call like this one. And there will be 2 information overviews. Now, new associate training is one and done. I don't expect anybody to attend that more than once, unless you're somebody that needs to hear things a couple times, right? That's a one and done. But every level up call each week that will be happening on Sunday night, that is you learning from people that have advanced past the point that you have. They're worth listening to. We have 2 information overviews. Wendy and I are basically saying, I would love it if you would let me recruit your people for you. I'll recruit them. Bring them to me. I'll pitch the business. I'll talk about the income. I'll talk about how we earn. I'll give a little overview on the products. I'll do it. You just got to bring them. Plug in. Tell yourself that you are going to prioritize that Sunday night to add, I think it's 6:45 Central, to listen to the level up call. Every Sunday night, just prioritize it, right? It's going to be streamed. Maybe it's like, oh, but I don't get off work till 6:45. Then it's the first thing you do when you get back, right? But like prioritize that and plug into our 2 information overviews, not for you to show up, for you to be inviting people. Okay. So start plugging into the things that we do. Tell yourself, I am going to have at least one person by hook or by crook. If it kills me, I'm going to have one person committed to coming to, listening, watching every information overview. Imagine if you had even just 10 people a month. Wait, 2 times 4 is 8. Imagine if you had 8 people every single month that came to an information overview, right? We have a very high, here's the schedule, guys. Yep. And again, this will feel free to take a screenshot, but we'll also have it posted. So that is
the weekly schedule will go up in the Diamond League every Sunday morning. And then every day, the graphics to remind you for what's happening that night will also post every single day. Okay. So you will have ample reminders of what's happening.
But Sunday and Wednesday are the two things that we've tried to consolidate everyone's time, that that Sunday and Wednesday nights are the two times when we have things available for you. So that's the second thing. Plug in. If there is a training within 100 miles of me, I'm there. I am going to national conference. I'm going to TLA. I'm getting in on as many of the trainings. Sometimes you'll see things offered by Red Diamonds and Blue Diamonds and these type of people. You know what? I listen to them while I'm getting ready in the morning. Might be putting on a little bit of makeup. I listen to them while I'm having my cup of coffee, right? Think of if you have a commute, you go to work. If you're Dory and you're doing your yoga, maybe you're listening in the meanwhile, right? Like, just prioritize these things that are being offered for you. That's the plugging in. Prioritize and plug in. Okay, number 3, Wendy, take it away.
Number 3 is paradigm shift. So I mentioned a little bit in the beginning about when we were talking about prioritizing, that having a business that brings you fun money in and having a business that brings you life-changing money in, and that could be different for every single person on this call, what that life-changing income looks like. But the job description for those is very different. We have associates here that are just here for a little bit of fun money. Maybe they're just here to earn enough to pay for their own products. Maybe, they've got a couple of customers. Maybe they have 1 or 2 associates, but they're not here to build a business per se. And maybe that's been you up until this point, but you want more. You want more in 24. So looking at the job description for life-changing income is very, very different. That is where you have to make that paradigm shift. When we are having a conversation with someone about our products and the conversation doesn't include any sort of information about our business opportunity, we are basically becoming a product pusher, which is not a bad thing if that's what you want to do, but you're not going to build that life-changing income if you're not looking at this from a business perspective. So as you know, we have 2 sides of our compensation plan. Yes, you can rank having customer orders only. However, it's you doing all the work, right? It's you doing all the work to find all those customers and build that rank income. When you have a team, and this is the same for any sales force, right? Sonara has shared that Pat was the head of GE sales for the longest time. And my husband does, audits, which has a sales force. When you have a sales team, it's not just you bringing in the revenue. It's not just you bringing in the volume. The volume for a customer or the volume for an associate is exactly the same. So why do you want to be offering people the opportunity to hear more about our business, inviting them to the Wednesday night or the Sunday night session? Well, first and foremost, again, the volume is exactly the same. And when somebody comes in as a customer, they might fall in love with the products, but they're not going to talk to their friends about the products. They might have a friend over one day and the friend might have a cup of mojo and say, oh gosh, that's really good. Where did you find that? But it's not at the forefront of their thinking to talk to their friends about these products. When you bring an associate into your business, they are going to speak to others about the products. So it opens up your network. This is how people always say, how do I branch into new networks? You branch into new networks by building your team. Because I didn't know Sonara before we got into business together. I would never have met anyone in her network ever in my life. I don't think I ever would have gone to Milwaukee ever in my entire life, right? I never would have met anyone in her network. Now she's got over 2,000 people on her team that are part of my network as well. So when Sonara, and everybody says it a little bit differently, everybody approaches it a little bit differently. Sonara tends to say to people like, I think there could be money here for you. I think there is a business opportunity here for you. And she pays the person a compliment. You're intelligent, you're business minded, you're whatever. You want to be authentic. You want to say something that's obviously true about the person, but there's always something nice you can say about everyone, right? And everyone loves to receive a compliment. I tend to, when I'm talking to somebody about the products, and they say, oh, or they, get in touch with me and they say, oh, I really want to try your collagen. We have a little bit of a chat. I get them in the Ultimate Glow Up. Maybe I tag them in a few things. And then I always, before I send a link, I always ask, would you like to purchase this as a customer or as an associate? Always. And I'll tell you guys, the 100% of the time that I've asked that question, the answer has always been, what's the difference? Always. They've never come back and said, oh, just a customer. It's always. Now, sometimes they do decide to just be a customer, and that's okay. But it always opens up a curiosity question. Always. So in order for you to get to that more in 24, to make a life-changing income, whatever that looks like for you, you have to have that paradigm shift. You have to be more comfortable asking people to look at the business opportunity, and you have to make it a priority every single week to be inviting people to those information sessions. Okay, 4th P, Miss Sonara.
Okay, the 4th P is posting. Posting. There are so many things that go into success in this business, and we're highlighting all of them right now. And if you remove any one thing from the equation, your success is dampened. Your chance of success is less, right? Because none of us have a brick and mortar store. We don't have a shingle or an awning downtown next to the ice cream shop. If you are not on social media, sharing about your products and your business, people don't know that it exists. Okay. Now there's 2 things that happen. So we've got a great video. I think it's in the boards app in the getting started section. But if you could just write this down, it's called Easy Customer Acquisition. Okay. That's what the video is titled. And in a nutshell, I talk about how once because remember, Wendy and I came here and were very limited in what we could do initially because we were bound to a contract that we had signed at a previous company, right? Once I was able to actually be out there and tell people that I was part of this company, my business, it didn't matter how much I was doing behind the scenes, and I was seeing great success. My business exploded. I am shocked by the number of people that will tell me they're frustrated. They're not getting any traction. They've talked to a couple of people about the business, da, da, da. And when I go to look at their social media page, there's absolutely nothing about Ternant. Now imagine how crazy it would be if all of a sudden you just found out someone that you're Facebook friends with, you just found out someone had a baby. Like, wait, what? Following this woman for a year. I never even knew she was pregnant. Where did this baby come from? No, I'm going to go look at her social media. I'm looking at her picture. She's in Mexico. She's not pregnant here, right? It would be kind of crazy. In a weird way, that's kind of how it is with your business. If you are not posting on social media, people, A, don't even think you're serious. B, you are denying yourself an opportunity for people to come to you. And C, there is a psychological phenomenon. Our brains are designed to mitigate risk and keep us safe. When we see things over and over and over, and this is why marketing companies pay for commercials on TV, they don't expect that anyone is going to jump up off their couch and run to Taco Bell in that moment. But they know that when you're hungry on the road, you might pull off to a Taco Bell because Taco Bell is something you've seen enough on TV that your brain deems it as safe. It's legit. It's a thing. Okay? Versus the random little mom and pop little restaurant. I don't know. I've never heard anything about that company, right? Posting on social media is super important so that your brain, your friends and your network's brains is kind of seeping into their brain, okay? When you eventually reach out to them to invite them to an information overview, they are more likely to say yes because they're thinking on a subconscious level, oh yeah, I've been seeing something on Lisa's page about this. Okay, yeah, I've seen this before. person is like, wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? They have to see stuff. Okay, so the video titled Easy Customer Acquisition lines out, kind of like lays out a gentle, easy, non-Instagram influencer quality pathway to put stuff out there. And in a nutshell, the way I like to describe it to people who are asking me what my, and by the way, I'm no social media expert, but I did get to Red Diamond. I say, if there's 7 days in a week, my little method, if you will, is post, babysit, babysit, post, babysit, babysit. What I mean by that is I only post every third day. But the 2 days in between, I'm babysitting that post. I'm checking it. I'm going to look at it. Who's hearted it? Who's liked it? Who's commented? Nobody? Well, shoot, I better fluff this thing up. Let me tag a few people. Lisa, girl, you're a hairdresser. I feel like your clients will love this. Hint, hint. Let me drum up some activity here, right? You are babysitting that post so that every single person who engages is going to get a voice clip from you. I will literally voice clip every single person. Hey, Carrie, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for showing my collagen post some love. It's the best product out there. I am curious if you're using a collagen right now, because if not, I'd love to hook you up. Every single heart, every like, every comment, they are hearing my voice. It's a shocking number of people that will tell me they're frustrated. They're not getting anywhere. I go look at their Facebook and it's like, I wouldn't even know that she is partnered with this company. There's literally nothing here, right? So you have to, because you don't have any other visibility, because your store is invisible, you have to make it visible. So watch that video. Yes, Terry, I am voice clipping people. I don't text anybody. In the world of ChatGPT and AI software, I've stopped texting completely. Unless it's like, can you send me your link? That's something that I have to text to them clearly, or can you send me a picture, right? But if it's any information, if it's me reaching out, it is a voice clip. I want them to know it's me. So the fourth thing that you're going to do is you're going to up your game this year, and you are going to start to post more. It's not going to be obnoxious. It's going to be every few days. You don't have to worry about turning into a crazy person, right? Only 10% of your network sees anything you post anyway. So truth be told, I can make a case for doing this every single day. I just don't know that you'll have the bandwidth to keep on top of all those posts and engage with everybody. I'd rather see you post every second or third day, but then literally engage with all of those people. Okay. And the last thing I'll say about this is, am I doing this to drum up customers? Yes and no. I'm doing this to get them excited about Trinot. But rest assured, when Lisa says, you know what, funny enough, I am actually looking for a collagen, I'll try yours. I don't just say, great, here's my site. I say, fabulous, let's get this product in your hands. But before I take your money, Lisa, are you open to a conversation on the income side? We're still going to get you that collagen. But when I look at your network and I look at your personality and everything that you bring to the table, I think there's money here for you. And I'd hate to just scoop up your cash before having a conversation about that. Every single person. I've never taken money from anybody without having that conversation. Because ultimately, like Wendy said, if Lisa buys 2 things of collagen, it's 60 PV. If she enrolls as an associate on 2 bottles of collagen, it's 60 PV. There's no difference. But as an associate, she might bring 5 people with her. Okay, that's the 4th P.
Love
And
it.
last but not least, Wendy.
Yes. Last but not least, persist with patience. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither were our businesses. We start at ground zero with our business, and it takes time, you guys. It takes time. It takes patience. You might be looking at other people and thinking, oh my gosh, they're moving so much faster than me, or they're having so much more success than me. Comparison is the thief of joy in this industry. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. You have no idea how much time they're putting in, what, like, you don't have any clue what their story is. Your story is your story. The only thing you can control is what you're putting into your business, how you're prioritizing it, how you're showing up, all the P's, right? That's what you can control. So be persistent, but be patient. Consistently touching your business every day, consistently showing up for trainings, consistently posting on your social media. And one thing I want to also point out with social media, I don't know if you touched on this. I'm sorry, Sonara. I was multitasking because, you know, that's how I prioritize. I have to do things sometimes, a couple things at once. But if you've never done a story, like, we won't even talk about reels right now, because I know some people, like, I know I used to gloss over when it came to reels because I had no idea what I was doing. So we won't talk about this yet. Maybe we'll ease into that. But if you have never posted in your stories on Facebook or Instagram before, I want to challenge all of you to do it. It can be just a post, or it can be a question. Questions are good, right? To get people engaged. It can be a 10-second clip of you in the morning going, good morning, everyone. Just about to have my mojo. What do you drink in the morning, right? Asking a question. But the reason I really encourage you to get outside of that comfort zone, if you're not consistent with stories or you've never done them, is people will flip through stories more often than they will scroll through Facebook.
Mhm.
So if people aren't seeing your things, try stories. Okay. Stories can be really good as well, because if you do like a little live on your Facebook, like say you go live on your Facebook profile and you make it public, you can actually share it into your story and reach more people that way. So I want you to all get a little creative with your social media. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It actually shouldn't be perfect. I don't know about you, but when I see people posting and they look perfect and everything looks perfect and they're all dolled up, I'm like, that's not real, right? That's not real life. So it doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to know what you're doing. Just do it. So persistence with patience. Do not compare your chapter 1 in your business to somebody else's chapter 24. Do not compare your journey to anyone else. And really and truly, do not think that you can skip ahead 18 steps,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to go from, ground zero, day one, to a 5-figure a month income in 60 days. It's not going to happen. So you need to realize that when you're an entrepreneur, there are ups and downs in business. That holds true regardless of whether you're just starting out, regardless of whether there's anything's happening at the company level with stock or anything like that. Ups and downs happen. 14 years later, I still have ups and downs in my business. 20 years later, Sonara still has ups and downs in her business. And once you realize that and can accept that and still show up and still touch your business even on the down days, that's when you're going to start to soar and get more in 2024.
And I want to comment on something that Wendy said, sometimes we compare ourselves to other people. And yes, comparison is indeed the thief of joy. And it can also be a benchmark, like
It can be inspiration. Yep.
it can be inspiration. It can also be like, but is that person working harder than I am? Is that person working more consistently? Wendy's an educator. I'm sure she knows which students are putting in the person who gets an A. Yes, some people are just brilliant geniuses. Okay. And some people in this industry, they just have like a little bit of a Midas touch, but these are like 1%ers. The majority of people that get an A in her class are just working their tail off. They're working a lot harder than some of their counterparts are. Right. So there is a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of timing, but a big part of this, you guys, is just, I call it the daily grind. If you could fall in love with the daily grind. And the truth of the matter is, I think the people that work 15 to 20 minutes a day actually get better results than the people that binge 4.5 hours of this stuff on a weekend. Like they kind of like they spend 4 hours doing all sorts of stuff, right? And they would have been better off just touching their business for 15 minutes a day and
Yeah.
calling it a day. I know somebody, she does it when she gets into her car after work. Before she even drives home, she says, my family's not going to know or care if I'm home 15 minutes earlier or later. It's 15 minutes. But I get into my car and I do my 15 minutes of voice clipping or checking in, checking back on somebody, right? So, okay. Where do
Can
we
I
go?
say for 1 second, I
Yeah.
love that you brought up about my students because we're going into a new semester. The one thing I always say to my students on day one is no student has ever failed one of my classes who consistently shows up and consistently does all the work. I've never had a student in 17 years of teaching that has failed who comes to class every single day and hands everything in.
Yep.
And the same can be true for business. You're not going to fail if you just keep going. You won't.
You
You might,
can't.
you might have down days, you might have crappy days, but you're not going to fail in business if you just keep going.
Yeah. So where do we go for here? So the first thing Wendy said when we opened up, I don't know if you remember her, is that we're really going to be focusing on 90-day sprints. I don't want you guys focusing on June 3rd. Okay. Right now we're worried about January, February, and March. We're focused on this calendar quarter. And I want you guys to pretend like you're training for a marathon or you are trying to get in shape for a wedding or you're a vacation, but like it's like a 90-day sprint. And you're just saying to yourself, you know what? I can be super focused and super dedicated and do this for 90 days. Okay. So, number one, you are going to print this off. Well, first of all, you're gonna see this. Yeah, we're gonna post this in the Diamond League. And the first thing, I'm actually gonna encourage you guys. I can't make you do this. I'm gonna encourage you to make this graphic your screensaver, your wallpaper on your phone for just 90 days. Your cute granddaughter gets the boot for 90 days. Sorry, love you. The cute picture of you and your husband, maybe it gets the boot for 90 days. I'm just suggesting it because it's amazing it's amazing what'll happen to your business when this pops up and you're reminded of this and you see this. I think it's worth a 90-day like challenge. Okay, so put this on your wallpaper or I say but make a commitment to yourself. Like say, okay, I can do this, right? What are we really looking at? We're looking at, I am setting aside time Sunday night for the level up call. Okay. I am going to be private messaging with my voice and inviting, even if it were just one person a day, you guys, I bet you that's more than you do. 30 in a month would probably be more than some of you have done. And say, hey, Kathy, what are you doing tomorrow night at 8 o'clock? I have something I want to invite you to, or whatever time zone you're in, right? Tell yourself, I'm going to plug in. I'm going to focus on asking people to check out the business, even if they ask me about the products. I will get them excited about that product first. And right before I send them a link to order, I say, real quick, before I send you this link and basically take your money, LOL, are you open to a conversation on the income side? Because I legitimately think there's money here for you, right? The worst they can say is no, and they still want to buy the collagen. Great, okay. But you're going to hold yourself to this, and you're going to see what your business looks like in 90 days if you plug in and you focus on inviting people to the information overviews and you focus on sharing a playback when they say can't make it. That's my work night. No worries, I got a playback. When do you think you can get around to watching it? Write that down, by the way. That's another tip. When I send somebody an overview, I say, when do you think you're going to be able to get around to watching this? They'll tell you. It's amazing. Sometimes they'll be like, I can do it in the morning. It's like, great. I wasn't even expecting her to do it that quickly, right? Focus on getting people to listen to the information overviews and know that if you do these things consistently, tell yourself you're going to reserve all judgment. You're not going to get down on yourself. You're not going to get upset with your results. You are going to give yourself 90 days and see what happens. Seeds
90
don't get
days
put in.
of consistently doing the 5 Ps.
Yes, seeds don't, no farmer puts seeds in the ground, wakes up, goes outside and says, well, this is BS. None of this grew. He knows it's like weeks before it even pops out, and then it's got to get to maturation. You know what I mean? So please, I'm begging you. Wendy and I did not have a business that we were happy with our progress, but we weren't where we wanted to be at the end of the first or second month. We were laying groundwork. Please give yourself the same grace. Okay, Wendy, is there anything that you want to add?
No, I love that. I love it all. So
I see a question here. Can a potential associate jump on a Wednesday night call? No, yes, that's the point, Dory. So the Sunday night and Wednesday night information overviews are specifically for people that are not associates and they're considering joining us. And the purpose of those calls is we just want to give you a 30,000-foot view. We assume you know nothing. This is who we are. This is the highlight of a couple of our products, and this is how we earn. Great question, Dory. Thank you for asking. Those are for your next team members that you don't even know are going to join you yet. That's what those are for. And let me see if there are any other great questions, or any other questions are always great. Easy customer acquisition is the name of the video. You can find it in the boards app. You can also find it in our Diamond League in like the startup guide area. All right, that's it. Wendy, did you want to add anything to close us out?
no, I think this is a great start to 2024. I'm really, really excited about just the direction that this organization is going. We've got an incredible leadership team, so you're going to be hearing from a lot more of the Ruby and above leaders, which is going to be amazing because everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone has things that work for them or don't work for them in their business. So I'm really excited about that as well, that the level up calls are going to be shared amongst the leadership team. So I encourage you to make that your screensaver, give yourself the 90 days, set your intentions, set your goal, plug in, and connect with your Ruby leader as well, whoever your Ruby and above leader is. And if you're not sure of who that is, reach out to me or Sonara, and we can connect you and be a part of that. But it's really, it's really important for you to stay connected with your leader as well, and find a running buddy in the team. We're on these calls at least once a week. We've got the business solution focused chat going in our Diamond League group. And I'll tell you, when I've had the most success in business, it's when I've got a buddy that I'm running with, a friend that I can just connect with, that we can bounce ideas off of, that we can, just keep each other encouraged and things like that. So I really encourage you to reach out for a running buddy. You can just post it in our chat and say, you know what, I'm running for Ruby in the next 90 days. Who wants to run with me?
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. This was live streamed into our Diamond League group. So it's there. The recording is available if you want to go back and look anything over. And I will post the 5 Ps more in 24 graphic with the recording. It'll be all in the same post. So thanks everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow night for our opportunity session.
All right, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Have a great night, everyone.